Okay, welcome to Tennis Sucks, Pickleball podcast with Travis and Graham.
You're gonna have to carry this one, Luke.
What'd you say?
You have to carry this one, buddy.
Yeah, what everyone didn't hear is the last 20 minutes of debate on the bet that was made last week. They obviously took it very, very seriously. I think $100 is way too much for one of them to afford.
I don't think it was the money.
So, yeah, if you didn't hear last week's episode, we made some bets on the PPA finals. I think there were some things that weren't clear. I don't know. Graham, do you want to summarize what wasn't clear about
I don't think
it?
he does. No, he does not. He does not.
All right, then. So
we'll just call it a wash. So we're both gonna
donate.
We're gonna donate 100 each to Alzheimer's. That's the best avenue here. And moving forward,
stop alls now.
Stop alls now. Donate to it. And moving forward, when there's painfully obvious formats in play that I take for granted as pickleball fans that we know, I will ensure that I'm more clear about what they are.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll make the bet a little bit more defined next time.
There we go.
But you definitely had, but I think both of you
we picked all the winners. I don't think there was one category we didn't pick the winner.
But I mean,
between us,
there was some upsets like at the early stages of this event, which is kind of interesting.
It has to be Lacey and Georgia, right? Against Annalie and Catherine.
Right.
And, we kind of said that it's a weird team, but they're both incredibly risky and can get hot. And they played great. They looked fantastic. And then, of course, the chatter got really, really loud. Like, who is Annalie going to drop Catherine for? And to Catherine's credit, with a new paddle in hand, she played much, much better in the final than she has been.
And played great with Christian and mixed.
Played great with Christian and mixed. And to me, it's like, it's funny because you'll say like, oh, she played so much better, and she did. But what's the only thing that changed? The paddle she was using. And the biggest issue that she'd been having against Rachel and Anna was getting attacked relentlessly and just not being able to counter with enough force. And suddenly the counter had an extra 4 mph. That's a big fucking difference. And it made a huge change in the way that the match went. I don't think the girlies played their best, but they're the 4 best players in the world.
Yeah. What did you think of the way that Lacey and Georgia played?
I think Travis had it spot on. They just have a really high ceiling, and I think they were hitting that ceiling in a lot of those matches. They're fun to watch. They're a fun women's team to watch.
Really fun, yeah.
And it sounds like they're going to play more together. They like playing together.
Oh, they are going to, or they're not?
It sounds like they are.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For next year. Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have some shockers periodically, but if they get hot for a couple days in a row, fucking watch out. There's so many shots between the two of them.
Yeah. And they almost had the semifinals match. It wasn't like
that.
They split games, if I remember correctly, right? And they had a moment where they were in the third game, and then they lost it at the very end.
Against
it was
the girlies?
Yeah. At the very end,
it has to be because they got second in the pool, so they have to play the winner of the other pool.
Got it.
He wasn't even going to hint at it. We're past it.
Yep. So, and then other upsets. What were the other upsets early on? I forget.
Kwong going out sucked.
Yep. Kwong was out.
Injury. Forgot about that injury. That guy needs some rest.
He needs
Give him some rest.
I mean, I think Tyson coming out and going 3-0. Tyson went 3-0 in pool play in men's and in singles. But listen, all these things are shocking. But there is nothing fucking nearly as shocking as James Ignatovich losing 43 straight points.
I still don't understand how he lost 43 straight. I know the 11-0, 11-0 part.
It gets better.
Where's the rest of it?
Apparently, he's up 10-2 game 1 in mixed.
Oh, no.
He loses 12-10, 11-0. Okay, so we got...
we're at 23. It's between different events.
Yeah.
I thought it was straight in men's.
So I think it was, did I have 43? It might have been 22.
I think you're right. 43 is what I read, yeah. That's wild. He said he was sick, though.
Graham?
He had the flu.
Graham?
He was over caffeinated.
Don't fucking do that. On with one eye, my left hand, and fucking I don't even know. There's 43 is an incredible occurrence. Is it not?
It's
Matt
the finals. It's high
Matt
level.
Wright and fucking James, who's a good team, lost 11-0 to Diescu and Tyson. That's incomprehensible.
Yeah,
Imagine that
wild.
spread if we were gambling. Be like, 1.5, 2 points. No, it's 11-0, 11-0. That's not.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So that was the craziest shit of the journey for me.
But good job for Tyson to come back with some like momentum.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really good. He looked great. I mean, and I still wonder, like, Ben uses the Gen 2 for singles and then the Gen 3 for doubles. I don't get the logic there at all. It's like Tyson's on his back foot, 3 feet behind the baseline, lacing forehand winners. Don't you want that? Like, why would you not do that? You dink well enough. Your cat and mouse is good enough. Use the fucking Gen 3 for singles if it's available. Oh, sorry, the 3S, as if there's a difference.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
think he'll
Why
change
is-
that.
Yeah.
He has to change that. He's not, he has to. If you're basically telling the other player, hey, you can use something that's much faster and with more spin,
Right.
makes no sense.
yeah. Ben had a tough week.
Yes. Yeah, he and Colin was weird to watch.
So
they didn't
are
even
you
speak.
still on board that they're not going to break up?
I don't think they're gonna break up.
You don't still?
I still don't.
Wow.
I don't.
Hell, you're sticking to that. You're like the only person left.
I just think I don't think he'll do it. I don't think he'll do it. And I think you could almost like feel a tension. So I mean, obviously, I have no inside information here, but yeah, man, they didn't speak much. Colin screaming about the ball. You know, he just fucking little outburst, and it was weird. It
And
was
they're
like,
both shutting down.
dude, these guys aren't even looking at each other, aren't talking to each other. One guy goes and sits on the bench, the other guy's standing up. It was like, whoa, this is not good. This is not fun to watch.
I have this concern that they are going to break up, but Ben's going to wait a little bit too long, or they're going to wait too long for it to happen. And then who's Ben going to have left to pick? Because if enough teams beat Ben and Colin in men's, then those men's teams that are beating them are going to be like, well, why?
Well, of course.
Who you going to grab? You know, like,
And I also think, like,
I'm going to stay with my guy that I beat you with.
well, let's say it's Hayden too, right? Let's just say that he
Right,
was the
Hayden
guy.
and
Let's just say,
Yeah.
Hayden, if you watch the match in the final, he's coming over to the middle to hit the little 2E cross court. Nobody's ever done that
Dink.
with Ben, where they're taking that middle ball. And I don't think Hayden, nor should he, is going to be like, yeah, I'll play beta. I'll fucking come over and play 20% of the court. Fuck off.
Right.
Dude, I'm the guy. I'm the guy.
So then the guy might be Gabe,
But
possibly,
he's the
right?
same. He wants to take every
Exactly.
fucking ball.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
think that he's going to wait too long, and then I don't know who's going to be there to fill in that spot for him. That makes sense.
Well, I find it funny. It's like the commentators in particular, and you know, maybe I'm biased because, hey, I'm a fucking Hayden fan and a Gabe fan. I've been saying it for a long fucking time. They're two best players. And there was a week there where Ben looked great, but I legit believe that, like, these guys are 18, 19 years old. They're 1A and 1B right now. Ben's the third best player in the world from my perspective. And they keep saying Hayden's number 2, and no, he's not. He's the best player. Now, if you relay all events, no, he's not. But if it's just men's doubles, I'll take Hayden. And I think you saw that even the final, the way that Hayden and Fed iced out fucking Gabe. Like, Gabe was not allowed to touch a ball. They hit every ball to JW's dink on the back end, and we're like, sorry, Gabe, enjoy the match. It's gonna be really fun for you to sit there and watch. And they stuck to it.
And then Gabe tried to push too hard,
course,
and
he
that
has
made
to.
it worse. Yeah.
Dude, he was getting literally 1 out of every 15 balls.
Yeah.
And
it was a speed up. It was a speed up body
at the
back.
face.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
At the face.
And that's where I felt like almost bad. Like, you got to credit Federico and Hayden, because it's hard to have that much discipline in your strategy. They did not deviate regardless of the score, regardless of the moment. It was like, listen, every single ball is going to JW's backhand dink, and that is what we're doing. That's it. And they did it over and over and over and over and over, and clearly it worked. That was a rout in the final.
Yeah. Do you think JW will fix that problem?
I think he's trying to, but he's using the 2E. Very, very unnatural looking. It's much flatter than the guys who hit it really well. Like, if you look at Hayden brushes up on it so beautifully. Got a great arc. JW's pretty flat. So
Right.
if he doesn't catch it quite right, it floats. Hence, you're going to get out of the air. And it's not dipping. And he's got to make the margin lower because it doesn't have that rotation. So he's going to miss more in the net.
Who will have a better two-handed backhand, Ben or JW?
Ben's is already way better. Ben's is good. It's just not like you can see it's not a supernatural shot for him, but he hits it great.
He also, I don't know if this is me seeing, but did you see him like reaching in with the backhand roll down the line more often than he normally does?
Boom.
Ben. I felt like he was.
I've always thought that was like his best shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's his
Down the
best shot.
line,
Oh, yeah,
reaching,
yeah.
single.
That's his best ball.
Oh.
Yeah. That's like the times where I played him up, whoever I'm playing with, I'm like, when he reaches, guard your right hip, and I'll pinch middle.
But you can see they're both working on that. Obviously, that
For
two-handed
sure.
roll
But yeah,
cross court.
I would wager Ben's will be much better. I think it's already much better, and I think it's a much more natural stroke. But either way, neither will ever look like Hayden's or Gabe's. To me, the interesting is like you can see when someone's trying to work on something and it's quite mechanical. To me, the funny thing about Hayden is like everything he's doing, he just does. Like this is how I play. I'm not trying to add new shit. This is just how I play, and that's hard to compete with because it's like the whole game is a reaction for him. And then like he's developed a shot, at least I think, which fucked the semi up, turned it on its head real fast against Deckel and Christian. Like everyone knows Deckel kind of plants his feet in cement and then just really fast hands. And we've talked about this a little bit, but Hayden gets a short forehand. He has zero intention of making it. It's not the objective. And like the third or fourth point, he fucking just bags Deckel. The ball would be going 25 feet through the fence. Doesn't say sorry, just turns around, part of the game. And then Deckel was on his heels the whole time. It was like, shit, he might do it again. And then he hits a little 3-foot, past the line roller.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, he hit Gabe 3 or 4 times cross court with
over
it.
and over. He kept getting him. He's fucking lines it up and he darts the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And like, I love that. I love that. Do I love that that's a part of the game? Not sure. But if it is, fucking do it. Yes, I love Hayden.
He is the face of the sport.
He's the face of the
sport. Yeah.
Coming into his own.
It's funny. Who else had some standout moments this weekend? Paris Todd did pretty well in women's singles.
Fucking made the final. Great.
That seems to be her venue for whatever reason.
True. And then
And
Caitlin
Hunter.
Christian made semi.
I think Hunter stood out. I mean, you said it was going to happen, but holy shit.
Yeah.
Thanks, Graham. Yeah. I did. I do think he has the highest level. I think his switch from the engage to the paddle tech can't be
And he's not paid by Paddle
I know.
Tech.
He's just
He's
using
a
it.
free agent.
But he hit one ball, which I saw in a highlight. It was like a forehand down the line winner against Tyson to win a game, maybe game 1. And I promise you it cleared the net by 6 feet. And then it dropped in the corner. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of bite. That thing's coming down.
There were a bunch that Connor were letting go in the final, I feel like, too, that he's like,
They're
that's
dipping.
out.
Oh, he
and
gets
it's like
crazy
cross court
rotation.
and it fell in. You're like,
he gets
what?
crazy rotation with that paddle.
There was a moment where Connor in the finals was coming back and you're like, oh, this might go to a third game. In fact, he took the lead, right? He was up 10-9 and you thought, oh, I hope Connor's not going to have a mental collapse, but he didn't. He overcame it and still got the win.
Yeah,
Connor's a baller too, man.
Of course he is. Yeah, great player. But yeah, obviously Hunter's very confident. He's been winning a lot. What happens? You win and breeds winning.
Yeah. I think he needed that. I think that's a big one for him. It's going to give him more confidence.
Is
moving
anyone
forward.
closing on Anna Lee, like in reality? Do we think that anyone is getting closer to where she's not almost like an 80% triple crown every week? I mean, obviously, I think the women's doubles, and I unfortunately was wrong in this one because I love Rachel and Anna, but I think they're still going to stick around 50-50. My bet was above 50-50. I think Rachel needs a poppier paddle. But to me, I just watch and Annalie's so fucking good. And it also makes me wonder, like, in mixed, does she win with how many guys? 10? 11? I don't know. But it's a lot. She's fucking really good.
Yeah. I think singles is going to be the first place she's caught. That's my guess.
She lost one time this year at midnight against Salome Davidze.
Yeah.
One match.
No, I agree. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think there's going to be... I think that's one of those things that can be picked up, I don't know, by tennis players that are a high level and can come in and suddenly it's like crap.
You're right.
Because in doubles, mixed and in women's, if she starts losing, I think she can grab the number 2 in the world and start winning again.
True. Unless the same problem exists, the team that's been beating her is the number 2 in the world, and they're like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
Time will tell. But it's going to be interesting. Apparently, she's playing with her mom at the Daytona event, what I hear anyway.
And at US Open.
It's going to be interesting to see what the Daytona event brings. It was supposed to happen, I believe, in October. And now it's like 2 days before Christmas. So will it be skeletons? Obviously, some people have contractual obligations. So are they going to show up and, give their best effort? Who knows? But But I think it's going to be certainly a wide open field. And the weird part about it is it counts for your 2025 points, I believe. Yes, your 2025 points, but your 2024 contractual obligations. So there's going to be a lot of weird teams. Like a lot of top players won't be there.
Are there a
It'll
lot of
be wide
contract obligations left for players? Are there a ton of players that still have events they have to do?
I couldn't tell you exactly how many, but I'm sure there's
Do
quite a
you
few.
still owe
Oh,
some?
yeah.
Oh, you do?
How do you get those back? Well, like, how do you?
Well,
you
so
know?
for me, my contract was altered in March. So my tournament count started in March. So I got a few left, but it goes through March essentially.
Okay,
Yeah.
got
So
it. Okay,
I just got to play.
and
it
so
is.
then it just resets in
It just
March.
resets. Once your contract year finishes, next year you got to play the same amount of events that you agreed to
Got
the first time. And for
Sure.
some it's a lot, for some it's less.
Yeah. So what happens if you end up with too many left and there's not enough?
Then you
Things to
fucked
do.
up. You got to play it.
You don't get you don't get paid.
Yeah, you're on a pro rata. Like you're.
Oh,
You get paid
It's-
per
it's
event
per-
you
it's
go
per event.
to.
I see. Okay, got it.
And everyone's also got like, charity stuff that they have to do. Or,
Right.
clinics and stuff like that. So it's important you get those things in as well.
Got it.
Yeah, and every event's quite a bit of money for these players.
Yeah.
I
Right?
see.
Yeah.
Somewhere between, I don't even know what, 5
Depends.
and 100 grand.
Yeah.
200 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Somewhere around there.
And you did a lot of like the kids clinics, right?
Yeah,
As
I
part
actually
of
put
that?
it in my contract because I enjoy doing that much more than I enjoy hitting with Barbara and teaching her a drop. I like the
Right.
kids a lot more.
Yeah.
They're
That's
more fun.
cool. Anna Bright tweeted that she was commentating the junior PPA and said that like the talent was just insane.
There's a kid that she was watching, Rex Thies, I believe. Rex Thies, his last name. I got to play with him a little bit in Dallas. Yeah, dude, these kids are very, very good. Like I used to have it so wrong that the best players are going to be tennis players. It's not even fucking close to true. I couldn't have been more wrong. The kids that are playing pickleball since 11 and 12, they just do different shit, and that's, I think that the future is very bright for like what the shot making and the game is going to look like.
I think
Got
it's going to be the table tennis juniors.
It's not going to be anybody but the people who play pickleball. It's going to be those dudes.
But what about like guys that, like, let's say there's like they're table tennis junior savants, like they're 5 and 6 and they're amazing.
If they're 5
and
and 6.
and they pick up pickleball.
Sure, if they're 5 and 6.
Yeah.
It's an advantage. But
Like
but the
little
kid-
kids
but it's
that
gonna be like
train all
tennis.
day long and then switch over to pickleball.
I think it'll be kind of like tennis. Like tennis, if you don't start by the time you're 7 and like start playing all the time, you have almost no fucking chance. It's impossible. It just requires so much muscle memory, so many reps, so many hours. And like if a kid starts at 9, they're fucking literally almost a 0% chance that they can make it. I think pickleball will be comparable to that, in that you're just going to need so many reps to perfect certain things.
Wow. I'm excited for the pool of talent to be just pure pickleball players
Same.
or pickleball purists or whatever.
I want to
people
see
call
like just some freaky athletes get in there too, like the 6'7", really springy dude that's fucking running in and seeing an Ernie at the line and like he Ernie's it.
it.
And I don't mean at the kitchen line. I mean at the fucking baseline. Like, oh, I see it. And takes off. Like
That'd be
I don't
awesome.
know. I don't know what's coming, but we shall see.
Got it. Sweet. So so Daytona's going to have some interesting matchups. Is there anything else interesting about the Daytona event, or is it just a standard like?
I think it's a
Format.
standard 1,000 event, so you'll have all the events played in one day.
Okay.
I had the thought, like, what do you guys think about the finals of the events in singles being dumbed down to 2 out of 3 games? Do you like that, or do you prefer 3 out of 5?
I feel like that would be a lot on a player.
It's a ton.
No?
It's a ton.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it should be, but it's like when I watch the matches, they're all 3 out of 5 except for the singles, and I'm just like, damn.
Yeah. Is that because
They
you're
didn't-
enjoying watching singles more?
I enjoy the fatigue and the arduous nature of it.
Like,
I do.
yeah,
Not for me personally.
sure.
Not for me personally, but to watch that. And they actually did it in tennis too. The event that you guys were not aware of. The ATP World Tour Finals.
Yep.
They had 2 pools. The 2 best players out of each come out and they
Yep.
play. And then anyway, in the finals, they used to have it 3 out of 5. And I don't know, probably 10 years back, they were like, this is too much. It's 2 out of 3. It's 2 out of 3.
What if they did? I think if you did 3 out of 5, but did rally scoring, that could be Interesting.
I mean, but they won't change the scoring line. But I would like that altogether. I mean, that's a different conversation, Luke. But 3 out of 5 rally scoring is where I hope it all goes. That'd be great. Easier to follow, and
yeah,
bang, bang, bang.
Will players change the way they play for a rally scoring event like that? Presumably,
People say they do. I certainly don't try to. Just play.
just the same.
But I mean, then the question is like, do you do rally? Or you have to win the last point on serve, or is it just rally? That's what APP was doing. Is just rally, and you get, the problem with it is like you get the last point sometimes is anticlimactic. But
because they could lose on a error.
Yeah.
Oh, you could still make win on serve the final thing, right?
Yeah, you could. Of course you could. But I mean, like, that's generally not what happens. It's like you get the ball back, or they get the ball back, you get a return, and they miss a third. Game, set, match.
I'm good with 2 out of 3 for now, especially since a lot of the players that are still in it are playing multiple events. I get to see him again.
Yeah, that's a good point, Grim.
I get to see Fed again. I get to see Ben again, and Ali again.
When it becomes more specialized, which I think is certainly moving that direction, then I think you go back to 3 out of 5.
Yeah. Do you think Anna Lee and Lee Waters, where do you think they land in the PPA Daytona?
Well, I'd have to know who else was there.
Who else in the pool?
But there's certainly...
Is it not out yet? Do we know what other teams are showing up?
I haven't looked. But
I don't think so. I can look
but
and see.
I mean, I certainly think they're top 4. They're going semi at least.
Okay.
It'll be interesting where they seed them. Like, Lee doesn't have any points. So are they going to if they put her as like the fucking 25th seed?
They're not going to do that.
Right.
She'll be a top 8 seed.
Top 8. Interesting. Yeah, I guess. I mean, does Lee have any points? Bro, it's always 0. It's based
0.
on nothing.
This year
Yeah,
only.
this year only. So she's 0.
Right. Interesting.
And none of your points roll over for next year, do you?
No. Well, it's always a 50, not for the race, but your actual like ranking is based on the 52-week tally.
52 weeks. So it's rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other amazing thing they were talking about with Hunter is he came from the APP. So he had to start out as
43.
Like the 43rd seed.
Yep.
Wow.
Had to work his way up to get, like, you know how much work that is, how many wins that is, to every week have to play basically your first or second round, play a top 10 guy.
He was too. A lot of times first round. I think like 3 times this year he was playing like Tyson first round.
Right. And to climb up that fast in the year and then on top of it win the whole thing is
that makes a big difference actually when you think about it.
A huge difference. Yeah, no, it used to be like you're guaranteeing a couple wins. That was never the case for him.
That's a mental grind on top of it. Like, oh, I got to go back. I got to fly out here and I'm going to play, Ben John second round again.
Yep.
But I think Paris has really helped him. Like, she's so professional when you watch her. She's kind of methodical. She's got a routine constantly. And I don't know if that was the case with him. It looks like it is now. He certainly looks like he's more professional, less emotional when he's on the court. It's probably helped him a lot.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wow, that's awesome. So I guess then for 2025, what partner changes do you expect to see or predict, do you think?
All right, well, let's touch on that really quick. So first of all, in the men's final again, they ISO'd JW's backhand. And they were even talking about in the commentating, like, that's the weakness. That's the weakness. And sure enough, Fed and Hayden knew that a lot better than most. Certainly more than I did. But they just punished that. So Gabe said after that they, have been trying to play together for 3 years. They obviously trained together, practiced together, traveled together a lot. So they're supposed to play some tournaments, but it didn't sound like there was a full commitment. Like we're playing all the events.
Yeah, just a couple.
Right, just a couple. What I've heard obviously is Hayden and Federico, who have played 3 times and won 3 events. They should probably play. And then, I don't know. Is Dylan going to play with Pablo? I know they live together now in South Florida. Will be interesting to see at one point. Hayden's got to play with Riley again, I assume. But I'd wager like Hayden's probably the most desirable player at the moment. Guys are just like, fuck, how do I get him? But I don't know who he's going to play with. I think if Gabe and JW are going to play a lot together, then Gabe's going to have to play the left a lot. We've never seen JW on the right, but Gabe has such a much better backhand dink. What happened before or in this match can't happen again. So I don't know. It's going to be a lot of mixing around. What are your predictions?
I'm going to stick with Colin and Ben breaking up.
Wrong. I hope you're right to some extent because it would be interesting, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I'd like to see who Tyson's partner is going to be. I think Tyson.
I ask you.
You think they're going to stay together?
I think so.
Okay. I definitely think JW, you're going to see a lot of new partners with JW.
Yep.
You're going to, all right, how about this prediction? Who do you think will win more golds next year? Dylan Frazier or JW?
JW.
Really?
I don't think Dylan's going to win any golds.
I'm going to go with Dylan.
Okay, that's a clear bet.
I'm going to go with Dylan.
I'll take JW to win more, and you got Dylan to win more. Are we only saying men's? Oh, wait, hold on.
No.
Oh,
all
across
events.
all the boards.
Yeah, all events.
JW.
So wait, what is the bet? JW's
Who
gonna
wins more golds next year? Dylan Frazier or
more
JW?
golds. Okay, you're picking Dylan.
I'm picking. Yeah, I mean, I think JW is the easier bet, but I'm going to go with Dylan.
You tend to take the easier one, but in this one,
Who had more this year?
who had more golds?
Yeah.
JW, because he won a few with Georgia.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And,
oh,
and
yeah, you
Dylan,
gotta
and
take
Dylan
mix
won one
into
singles.
account.
And a mixed.
Yeah, and one. Yeah, but I'm saying like he won one mix, but he also won one singles.
Yeah.
I don't think JW won
JW
any
didn't win
singles.
any singles, right?
So you're taking it across all events.
All events. Who gets more golds? JW has Georgia. That's the tough one.
Right.
They're going to win at least probably a couple mixed
right.
every year, right?
Right. And who's Dylan playing with mixed mostly now, or just changing it up?
He's all over the
Totally.
place. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think
You
you're
need
going to see him with a bunch. I think you're see him with Tyra. I think you might see him with Anna here and there, possibly.
Okay,
He'll probably have a mix of partners.
got it. Makes sense. All right. Other predictions.
Rowan, who do you think is going to win more golds next year, JW or Dylan? And you have tomato bisque on your forehead. It's amazing. It's going to be all over my car. I know it. Who's going to win, JW or Dylan?
Dylan.
Good call.
That's what
Rowan.
Graham says, and you're both wrong. This guy's never right. Don't you know that?
Yeah. It's
How about
absolutely
vaping on the courts? Do we have any take on that?
You haven't seen that before? He does it on the reg, dude.
Just
In between points, he just
every
goes
point, there's a
huge
cloud
THC
coming
pump.
out of that middle
By the
court.
way, okay, this is a secondary issue, but Rollin' Oats, which is a store I love here. Are you familiar with this
Yes.
market?
It's like a hippie grocery store.
Yes. And I go there all the time. They have great food, great stuff. But I go in and there's like this normal looking orange juice, and Rowan's like, Daddy, can I have the orange juice? I'm like, sure, honey. Fucking grab it. And I pick it up 30 milligrams of THC. 30. But I didn't know
In
the
an
THC.
orange
but
juice?
yes. It's like an orange.
At Rolling Oaks?
I took a picture because I was like, what the fuck? And I've drank one of the THC beverages that's like 10 or 15. That was a lot.
When you went to check out, did you have to?
I didn't get it. Oh, Jesus.
You have to show your ID.
I got plenty at home. I'm good. Shut the fuck up. It's not my drug of choice.
No, that is wild. I've now heard about
30
this too.
milligrams.
It's a crazy business that's popped up. I don't know if it's only Florida or all over the
I
country,
know it's all over.
but
Yeah.
you don't even need a liquor license. You don't need anything medical, marijuana, any type of
just like
license at all.
whatever.
It's just done by like the Department of Agriculture. I think it's not a lot of money.
Wow.
You ask for it and you can sell like basically weed beverages, like beverages that get you high.
That's wild.
And they have whole stores now in St. Pete where you can just go and buy like a 12 pack of THC infused beverages,
Yeah.
almost like at a Publix.
You know how much 30 fucking milligrams is? I would fall
For
asleep.
people that do weed, I don't
No,
think it's a
it's-
lot, but for you and me, it's a ton.
Yes.
I feel like if we could make a pickleball
Like,
drinking
let's ask
game.
Luke how much 30 milligrams
ask me
is.
that.
It's lightweight. Look at him. See, that's what I'm telling you. That's
Is it?
nothing for
Oh,
him.
he didn't even flinch. When I
No,
saw
he's like-
30,
he's like, I do
I think
300.
I think Dion and I took like a 15 and split the bevy, and we're like, whoa.
I'm the same way.
Dude, but I'm telling you, I have the worst biological response to marijuana.
You
I'm
can
the
do way more
biggest
than 30,
pussy.
can't you? That's
I
like
was like
lightweight.
pumping out
That's
80.
speculative.
We're asking you for.
Yeah, we're not speculating if you're here. let us stop speculating.
All right, the non-answer
Okay,
means
he
lightweight.
fine. It
Yeah.
means, yeah, whatever.
You know.
He does,
I don't give a
He does
fuck.
that with his coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine. You know, it's a legal substance. Do whatever the fuck you want.
But yeah, that's a lot. I agree with you. That's a ton of THC.
That's a lot of THC.
I don't think I've ever done that much at once.
Yeah.
If I did, it was by mistake, and I slept for the next 3 days.
Yeah.
Weed
But if you
brownies one
take-
time. I actually remember that. I did not get the dose right, and I was like 18 hours out.
Oh.
It was
I'd-
awful.
I would like to see a pickleball match where you have to drink during the points of that game.
Can't be
One of
weed.
those
Anything
things.
else, I win. Anything else, but not weed.
Weed
Really?
messes you up, huh?
Dude, weed fucks me up so bad. I don't know
Interesting.
what it is. And even if I've like taken something else, if I smoke, nothing else exists. Only the weed.
Wow. That's interesting. I'd have a tough time too.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'd be fun for me.
No.
No, I don't enjoy it. And I get super
But some people do it all the
introverted.
time. Some people like out here, they can only
Dude,
play
this
high.
guy's chuffing right now.
I think that's tobacco though.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
you're not
that's
hitting weed that
strong.
often. That's a lot of
A
hits.
lot of people are doing that.
Right?
A lot of
Every
people are taking it like that.
serve.
Dude, my friend has a pen like that, Cali Kid, and he fucking hits that thing on the reg all
Wow.
day.
How do you
He puts
do
in his
that?
little oil in the morning with his little flavor, and he just It's
That's,
like we're probably going 30 puffs a day.
that's building up an immunity. That's
Well, yeah,
crazy.
no shit. I mean,
That's wild. I've definitely seen some other substances that people have come and played pickleball on before. I think that's pretty wild.
yeah, some people
Yeah.
are using the methamphetamines as a
We're a social
A
sport,
way to-
man. We're here
we're
for
a
the
public
we're here for the
park game.
social.
Come on out, get fucked up. It's no big deal. Hey, we're all
That's
for
too
it.
funny.
Make your own
all right.
choices. We're all adults. Don't hurt anybody. Don't kill yourself.
All right. And what about, I think on the back onto the topic of the partner changes, were there any women's doubles changes you would expect to see? Because right now the field is pretty much locked for,
Is Georgia Mari a locked in one?
well, we think that they
You
might,
think Lacey and
Lacey, yeah.
A couple. I'm not saying Lacey and Georgia are
Right.
regular. I'm saying kind of like Gabe is saying, Gabe and JW. It's going to be a couple.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly going to be Mari
Yeah.
and Georgia. What about Leia? Who's
Leia-
Leia's partner going to be next year in women's?
no clue.
I don't know who she's been playing with. She's been playing with all sorts of different people.
I don't think there's going to be a ton of mix-ups at the top in women's, personally.
What about, do you think Callie and Kovalev will stay together?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jesse is playing with, actually, I don't know.
Isnick?
Oh.
Maybe?
Well, Etta and Pisnik were together for a long time, right?
No, it's been Megan Zone with Marietta for a long time. I
Oh,
don't think they
okay.
split. I think they really like playing together.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of splitting in the women's.
I don't think so. I can't think of a team that you're like, oh yeah.
Women are loyal,
Yeah.
unlike the men. Men ain't loyal.
I don't agree with that
I think
statement.
I think a big part of it is there's not a lot of options for them.
There you go. Okay.
Who are they gonna?
That's the better.
Yeah, fair.
Which is part of loyalty.
Yeah, makes sense.
A lot of loyalty is based on your options.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just saying.
I'm like,
I'm just trying to-
it's just like a
I'm talking about
perplexing
your
statement to
men's
me.
partners. I'm just saying.
Okay. Yeah.
They have other options. They go with someone else.
Okay. I went to like
Happens a
much
lot.
more profound parts of life, but
Happens
Sure.
a lot. Kwong
when it comes
dong.
to no comment. Doesn't owe me any loyalty. That's different. Men aren't loyal.
They're not loyal because they have a lot of options.
Right. I would never expect a loyal guy to sell me a car with 12,000 extra miles.
What about paddle changes? Do you think we'll see a lot of players switch to?
I think there's gonna be a ton of shifting. Yeah, I think the barometer is the metric's gonna change. And
Do you think that paddle companies are paying less or more to pros this year on average?
infinitely more. As time
More.
progresses. Oh,
More.
way more. I think within 5 years, a 7-figure contract won't be out of the question.
For a paddle per year?
Yep.
$1 million paddle contract?
That's crazy.
I think Ben probably already got
Exactly.
that.
There's already people that have that.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it'll be more regular.
Wow.
All right. And yeah, I guess that's kind of it. I'm headed to St. Louis for the minor league national championships. Prize pool is $50,000.
Whoa.
How
pretty
many
big.
teams? How do you qualify for that? And how many teams are in it?
So you can qualify by getting a dream ticket by winning a regional.
Did you get one?
No.
Unbelievable.
Or you can.
Is it in any duper category or is it only for like 22?
You can go from Duper 12 all the way to 22.
So there's some 22 teams that'll be there.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is 50,000 the entire prize pool or
Yeah, I think it's the entire thing. But a lot of it's weighted in that last category.
22?
And then they also win the winners of 22 actually get a trip to play in the Dubai World Series Pickleball Rankings World Series. And they get like $3,000 appearance fees for everything they play in. It's kind of
Oh,
wild.
that's a topic we should have brought up, Luke, is the
The PPRs.
the PWR.
Yeah, PWR. We should have, because I've been told the 3 events are 1.5 million, 1.5 million, and $1 million for the biggest 3 events. Winners of events are going to be taking home like 40 G's a pop. It's going to be really interesting to see what takes place in the next 12 months.
12, next 2 months.
I understand, but I'm just saying, like, as far as
As
what
players,
players are going to try to get out of their contracts,
right,
or that only signed 1-year deals.
right.
What players is the PPA going to gain, lose? What players are they going to take? I mean, it's going to get really fascinating as this period progresses. And I mean, think about that logically. Like, I was trying to, at 1.5 million, that's unprecedented, you know? Like, and then wasn't one of the tournaments in Vegas? Didn't you say that?
Is
I
it
know
in
one
Vegas?
is in Vegas.
There's one in Vegas.
One in
At the
Vegas.
Sphere, I think.
One's in
or something.
Dubai, I believe.
Yep, in Dubai.
Like, yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. And it's, I can't say who, but let's just say an important figure in pickleball kind of referenced me like, do you think that this is actually a threat to, what's in place now? I was like, yeah, of course it is. Fucking A. You offer that kind of money, you're not doing it to run the second best league.
Right.
You're doing it to try to compete with the league that's in place. And I wouldn't be surprised if some people are either trying to renegotiate their contracts, trying to get out of their contracts.
Oh no, there is.
Oh yeah,
a
a lot,
upwards of 60.
Oh, a lot.
I don't know how many of those are important,
right?
But there's definitely some important ones. Like right offhand, I can think of is Mari, right? Who's some other one?
I know that a lot of players are already renegotiating their 3-year deals, and a lot of shit's going down, man. A lot of shit's going to be happening.
Yeah.
I still think PPA is in the best position, right, by a pretty substantial margin, but
at least for a couple of years.
At least for a couple of years. But the idea that it's like a solidified and that's going to be the global, I don't know. Don't know. I mean, I hope so, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's another opportunity for players to, play the two leagues against each other to get bigger contracts.
Sure.
I mean, it feels like it's going to go on forever.
Well, it won't go on forever, but it will, it's going to go on for a little while, for sure. Before the Wild Wild West is no longer the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
And the market's more clear. What's going to be really interesting is, like, let's say that they sign a deal with some Asian television and they can suddenly pay the players infinitely more. Yeah. And it's fucking on,
They might not win the US in pickleball terms, but they might win globally or on different continents.
But PPA already has, a lot of events going out now internationally. I think they're making a strong push. Also with MLP, they're doing the same, So nothing's for certain. You're probably right, but certainly both entities are aware, like, we got to make a push into Asia and take advantage of that market.
They have way more resources and are probably better connected in those areas than PPA is or UPA is. So therefore, they're gonna take footing faster.
Well,
it's a tough one. We're gonna have a lot of conversations about that coming up, I have a feeling. It's almost like another tour war.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
In time. So it still sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see that really quick? Did you see that they said, like, who would win between Alcaraz and
Anna Lee, and they're all saying Anna Lee?
I mean, kill her. Yeah, kill him. He hasn't played. Stupid questions. Anyway, the better one is Agassi versus Anna Lee. Want to end with that. Kind of still sucks.
All right.